this time we are going to compare the customs and festivals of Sudan, the United States, and Colombia. Welcome. In the first place is the culture of Sudan. As an Islamic country, holidays and festivals in Sudan are centered around the Islamic calendar. Important days such as the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, celebrated in Maulid an-Nabi, and Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of a month of fasting, are big occasions throughout the country. However, there are also some non-Islamic events that tend to celebrate common cultures and the joys of life. First, Maulid al-Nabi. The Sudan's festival calendar begins in February with Maulid an-Nabi, which celebrates the day the Prophet Muhammad was born. This is one of the few Islamic celebrations that travelers can take part in, as the festivities are taken out of the home and onto the streets. There are food and candy stalls in the street, and the locals dance and sing until late at night. The atmosphere is electric, and the day is certainly enjoyed by all. As a second is Sham al-Nasim, the spring holiday. Every year in April, the popular spring festival is celebrated, which takes place on the first Monday after the Christian festival of Easter. The reason for the festival is yet to be determined, but that doesn't deter locals and travelers alike from having a good time. The day is characterized by display of music, dancing, and festivities. In third place is the holiday Eid al-Fitr, or end of Ramadan. Sudan is an Islamic nation, so Eid al-Fitr, a public holiday that celebrates the end of the holy month of Ramadan and the end of the fasting period, is a big event. Celebrations are held throughout the country in August, with most ceremonies in mosques throughout the country. The main events of the day are largely family-friendly, with families coming together for a real party, the exchange of gifts, and look back at the month and what it means to their lives. As fourth place, we have Eid al-Adha, Feast of the Sacrifice. Another important Islamic day, this time in October, is the Feast of the Sacrifice. The story in the Quran that tells the story of Ibrahim and his willingness to sacrifice his firstborn son to Allah resonates strongly with people of Islamic faith, so strongly that believers all over Sudan kill sheep and celebrate big parties with their relatives and friends. The festival usually lasts 2 to 3 days, during which several visits to the mosque are made. And one of the last festivities in Sudan is Sufi Holiya Festival. Also in October, the traditional Sufi music and dance festival is held. The holiday festival is a massive display of cultural brotherhood and kinship, held in honor of Sudan's saints and sheikhs. The festival is characterized by the gathering of people of all ethnicities and social levels who dance and hoop in the street. This part of the festival is called Adra. Festival goers sing along to the traditional hymns and songs called Gasaids and celebrate in a grand parade that passes through many culturally significant landmarks. And now we continue with the celebrations and cultures in the United States. The first one is Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day. The Thanksgiving Day is one of the most typical celebrations in the United States. It is a festival celebrated on 4th Thursdays of November each year. This celebration has its roots in North America traditions dating back to the Protestant Reformation. Originally, it was a day of thanksgiving for the harvest and for the past year. As a second place in the United States, we have the day Halloween. This tradition shows the cultural diversity of the United States. Halloween is a tradition that the Irish brought to the country in the 19th century. 19th century. It comes from a Celtic holiday known as Samhain. It was adopted to the Americans and is now celebrated in a different parts of the world due to the influence of this country. One of the most beautiful parties is the Christmas. Christmas is another of the customs of the United States culture. This season begins the day after Thanksgiving and ends on January 6. As in another country, it is a religious festival where the birth of Jesus Christ is celebrated. Among the traditions include decoration house with colored lights. At this time, the United States dressed up in lights and decorations everywhere. Likewise, the resident neighborhoods of the country become authentic light shows. Natural Christmas tree is a pine tree. Pine trees grace American homes and dwellings. Families often buy the tree at the well-known Christmas tree decoration party. There are also specific farms for growing natural trees for Christmas, Christmas tree farms. In fourth place, we have the funeral rites in the United States. A cultural aspect of the United States that we cannot ignore is the funeral rites. When a person dies, the funeral can be in a house or in a church. Commonly, a few words of appreciation are said for the deceased, and then followed by a procession to the burial site. As a fifth, we have weddings in the United States. The United States is one of the countries with the highest annual percentage of the weddings. They are already part of the customs and tradition of the USA. Civil and religious unions between two people are an essential part of the social and cultural environment of the United States. They are celebrated in different places, both public and private. The sixth and the most important is United States Independence Day. One of the customs or traditions of North American culture is to commemorate Independence Day. Independence Day or the 4th of July. Every July 4th, the signing of the Declaration of Independence is celebrated in 1776, in which the country proclaimed its formal separation from the British Empire. It is a very special and emotional day. It has historical character and is the greatest example of the culture and tradition of the United States. As a seventh place, we have USA Spring Dance. All American students are going to live a unique and highly anticipated moment. We are talking about the prom, diminutive of promenade or graduation dance, also known as a spring dance, one of the customs of the United States. It is a dance organized by colleges and universities at the end of the course to bid farewell to those who graduate that year. Without a doubt, is the part of the culture of the United States. In eighth place, we have the Memorial Day or Day of the Fallen. The last Monday of May is a commemorative day of the culture of the United States. Memorial Day or Day of the Fallen is celebrated. In its early days, it was established to commemorate the fallen soldiers of the American Union who participated in the American Civil War. But after the First World War, tribute is paid to all the soldiers who died in combat. Last but not least, we have the social customs of Americans. Who is the culture of the United States in terms of social customs? Not very different from other countries on the continent. In general, strangers are greeted with a smile and some hand gesture, while friends or close people are greeted with kisses and hugs. And now we come to my country, Colombia. These are the customs and festivals in Colombia. In third place, we have Flower Fair. One of the most beautiful celebrations of Colombian culture is the Flower Fair. For 10 days, the city of Medellin is adorned with flowers everywhere. It is a scenario that is obviously part of the activities to sing in the city of eternal spring. The central act of this fair is the parade of the silleteros. As a second place in my Colombia, we celebrate Carnival of Blacks and Whites. The biggest festival of Colombian culture is the Carnival of Black and Whites. It is celebrated every year during the first week of January in San Juan de Pasto and Nariño. This carnival was born in the 16th century, in the year 1046. The carnival has several stages. The Carnivalito, the arrival of the Castañeda family, the Day of the Blacks, and the Day of the Whites, with its great parade. It is a very nice day, the Candlelight Day. The Day of the Candles is one of the most traditional festivities of the Colombian culture. It is a celebration that takes place in several religions of the country during the night of January 7. What is sought is to worship the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary. This celebration has been held in the country since 1054 after a proclamation by Pope Pius IX. Another special day is a festival of the Vallenato legend. Vallenato plays an essential role in Colombian culture, so much so that it has its own festival. This is celebrated annually during the month of April. The event was born with the purpose of honoring the miracle of the Virgin del Rosario. Legend has it the Coroponiaimo organized several tribes among the Itotos, Cariachiles, y Chirimías to attack the Spanish after learning that the Spanish Ana de la Peña cut the hair of Francisca, an indigenous woman, as she felt jealous of her beauty. Another celebration is a national festival of Colombian music. Thanks to the National Festival of Colombian Music, Ibagué is positioned as the musical city of Colombia. And this event since 1987 is part of the culture of Colombia. It is a festival where the artists and cultural manifestations of the Andean region of this country are simulated. A big party is the Cali Fair. One cannot fail to mention the fair in the world capital of salsa. We are talking about Santiago de Cali, where a key traditional of Colombian culture is celebrated. Previously, it received the name of the Sugar Cane Fair, and since then it has known how to make both nationals and foreigners fall in love who for 6 days delight in dancing salsa. And if you don't know how to dance, don't worry, I'm sure you will learn in Cali. In seventh place, we have Wayuu Cultural Festival. The culture of Colombia also has celebration brimming with tradition, among which the Guayú Culture Festival stands out. Travelers can share the true feeling of what it is to be Guayú, since they share their customs with the whole world. One of the curiosities about this Colombian festival is that the Guayú, located in the Zulia state in Venezuela, also joined the celebration. Another party is the Cartagena Pride Festival. The culture of Colombia has been able to adapt to recent times, which is why the Cartagena Pride Festival is beginning to establish itself as an important festival for the country. What he is looking for is the recognition of the rights of LGBTI community, and the walled city becomes the perfect setting. One of the most important festivals in Colombia are named Barranquilla Carnival. Many say that the carnival in Barranquilla competes strongly with the carnival in Rio de Janeiro. So you should not hesitate to travel to Barranquilla to check if this statement is true. Now, this carnival is an essential part of Colombian culture. This annual festival begins on the Saturday before Ash Wednesday and ends on the following Tuesday. And finally, we have the Tomatina of Sutamarchan. With tomatoes not fit for human consumption since 24, La Tomatina has been held in Boyacá, a unique event in Latin America that seeks to emulate this tradition typical of Spanish culture. Participants in La Tomatina often throw tomatoes and each other queued intensely, and people of all ages participate. It is very fun. Well, this was a brief comparison between three cultures of our planet. Thank you.